Someone reminded me the other evening that I once said, greed is good. Now it seems it's legal.
When I'm sad, she comes to me with 1,000 smiles. She gives to me. It's alright, she said, it's alright. Take anything you want from me.
Let's wake them up! All day, all week, occupy Wall Street! 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 All day!
You know who said that, right? You know who said this?
Power of love of power.
You should know. Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, there you go. You were close. You were close. You're in the era.
I was thinking of war.
All right.
That's all.
There you go.
The power of love overcomes the power. Love of power. The world will know peace. What we're witnessing here, right, is real America coming to represent for America, not the United States of America, the corporation, but America, the land, the people, the citizens who comprise this nation had enough. And they're out here to express themselves. We're 3 weeks into this Occupy Wall Street protest. It's getting bigger, it's getting stronger. The energy's not diminishing any. It's just gathering momentum. And we call all Americans to, at some point, show your face down here at Wall Street, New York, and help the protesters occupy Wall Street and let the corporate oligarchs know that we, the people, have the power. Yeah.
Hey, how are you? Everybody tell me you do it.
Thank you.
My name is Vikordowski of We Are Change.
Oh, cool! I love you.
Oh, you do? I love you too. Give me. I love you too.
I follow
Thank you so much. I follow you.
Cool.
Thank you so much. I love your work. I was wondering if you want to say something about the 10th anniversary just passing, and it just came out that a lot of the findings in the 9/11 Commission are actually being kept secret, and they were supposed to be released in 2009. I was wondering, do you have a comment on all the secrecy?
I do have a comment on all the secrecy, and here it is.
That's all you need.
Come on.
We know.
I really think the war on terror is a bunch of bullshit. Just a poor excuse for you to use up all your bullets. How much money does it take to really make a full clip? 9/11 Building 7, did they really pull it?
What made you, what piece of information made you look into 9/11?
It was really, you know, one of the things that always stood out for me was Building 7, because it never really got any attention. And it was really just like a question, like I said in the song. It's like, yo, did they really pull it? Because you watch like certain documentaries, and you watch counter documentaries, and you watch explanations and counter explanations and stuff like that. And it was just one of those outstanding things that always was like a, you know, like an elephant in the room for me. And it was really like something that I thought other people thought the same thing too. You know, like even if you agree with, you know, these were terrorist attacks, completely had nothing to do with any black flag operation, anything crazy like that. The phenomenon of Building 7 was something that was just like, it just kind of stood out on the periphery, like, yo, that's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? For that to just happen like that. It's something that I just think, you know, it was never really a real proper investigation. And any time that you can bring up a question to at least get people, you know, people of positions of power and people of positions of influence to start really taking a proper look at that situation, especially because of the repercussions that 9/11 had around the world. You know, like millions of people have died behind that. You know, for the sake of what? You know, for the price of what? You know, what really happened to cause millions and millions of people to die? If it was just a terrorist attack, then so be it. Let that be known. You know, let that be out and vetted so the public can see it. And I think you'll get more support. You know, I think you'll get more support from Muslim countries. I think you'll get more support if it was just an open and honest kind of thing, and less of this kind of cloudy, you know, kind of mysterious, behind the scenes kind of operation and stuff that goes on. And to see the people that come out in counter argument, you know, to kind of the status quo, they're not like kooks or crazy conspiracy theories and nothing like that. You got people who are fighter fighters, people who are demolition experts, people who are engineers, people who are politicians, people from all walks of life, you know. And it's like, well, where does normal begin? Because if they are the epitome of normal, and just on this one instance they're the kooks and the crazies, then when do they become normal again? You know, what situation will come about where everybody can agree on? You know, so I think it's just something to bring up, to trying to get the people that run this place, that run this country, to kind of be honest and open about an investigation about 9/11 and what really happened, you know?
This was a product of the military-industrial complex. If anybody looks at the history of what occurred with Enron and the evidence that was in these buildings, okay? And the fact that they collapsed 2 tanks in Mascot, Brooklyn 2 months before 9/11. Those tanks were Keyspan Energy, and they merged with Enron in 1998. So when you consider the diagram and the collapse pattern of the tanks, and the fact that these towers, when you look at how close proximity these buildings were, how easily and how dramatically they would drop within their own footprint, which is an impossibility. This nation's defense has trillions of dollars behind it. You're not going to tell me that when a plane deviates more than 20 degrees off its flight pattern, that the military doesn't take notice of this. And so we have to take notice of these things, because what's occurring here is treason on a financial level, on a power level, and the American people have to take a stand now, because Nazi Germany was a repeat of what occurred here. After the Reichstag fire, you had the Enabling Act, and you had Fatherland Security. After World Trade Center, we had Patriot Act and Homeland Security. So eventually the police will be militarized and the people will be stigmatized. On 9/11, the American people were the victims of terrorism. 10 years later, the American people are being treated as terrorists at the airport, soon enough at the train. Any type of public transportation, you're going to be searched down and patted down like a criminal. That's how they view American people. Brown Brothers Harriman, do the research. Find out who was behind World War II and World War I. Find out who funded Hitler. It's a piece of the puzzle right there to the funding of the Nazi regime and Hitler's Germany. Yeah.
Can I ask you something? Let's say they come to the table, there's bargaining. Will there, with the people here that are starting this movement, is there such thing as bargaining with these people?
We stress dialogue, we stress non-violence, because violence will only play into their plan. If we can prevent violence, we know that there are professional agitators who work for law enforcement in here, and as been seen on the videos, we see them initiating the violence against the police. But we have to show a solidarity with the police, because the police are blue collar as we are, okay? The police are also blue collar workers. So when you have divide and conquer amongst the blue collar workers, which is the police being put against the people, then you have the enemy sitting behind them laughing and thinking that it's okay to see police fighting amongst the people, and they still remain unaccountable. The financial powers that be have to be held accountable, because we poured trillions of dollars to the banks, and now the banks are posting fees for using our own money. As you see with the debit system, the new increases, we put money, we give them the power, then they take money from us to use the power that we gave them. So do a boycott of the banks. Pull your money out of the banks. Start bargaining. We need to create our own wealth again, as we did back in the 40s and in the 30s. That's the problem that we have now, is we're consumers. We no longer produce anything as a nation. That's where we lost our power. If we can go back to producing the goods and creating the enterprise and entrepreneuring and making business back as American, so that made in America really means something to us and to the world, then we'll have progress. But until then, we have to stress non-violence, non-violence, non-violence.
Great.
God bless.
God bless, man.
E pluribus unum.
Absolutely.
E pluribus unum.
And the Federal Reserve and the fractional banking system. Stop with the military-industrial complex. These wars. We have our own problem. We don't need to be in the Middle East. We don't need to invade a new country every year to sell more weapons. The only thing that says made in America are guns, missiles, and tanks. Don't forget that. Bring production back to America. We don't have any beef with the people around the world.
So can you do the knowledge right fast? Can you let us know what that's about?
When I say Nazis, I mean Jews. The Jews control the banks.
So-called Jewish people, the Jews.
So-called Jews.
Ah, Jewish.
Yeah, you got Google Jewish billionaires. Google Wall Street Jews.
Rothschilds,
and all of them.
All of them.
They control. They're responsible for America's financial problems, and everyone's afraid to say it. Greedy bastards, the pernicious, nefarious, insidious bastards. And they control the Democratic Party. You see how Obama and the Republicans are all trying to appease the Jews. Who can do the most for the Jews to get that money?
Wait, Jews or Jewish people?
Jews, however you want.
We got to be careful though, because
when you Google, you gotta say Jew. You can say Jews or Jewish.
Jewish, you know, because Judaism is a philosophy. Yeah. We're talking about a group of people.
They represent 2% of the population. They control the banks, the media, the department store chains, the supermarket chains, manufacturing, gold, silver, jewelry.
The people he's talking about don't believe in what they call themselves Jewish, but they're really not Jewish.
Synagogue of Satan.
Synagogue of Satan. Been telling you.
I want to talk about these bankers. They say they hate socialism, but they are the biggest socialists in the world.
They are socialists.
They went broke with our money and their casino deals, and then they had us bail them out. And we don't even know where the money went. And if you think that bailout was $700 billion, let me tell you about a gentleman named Richard Gross, who is the principal of a company called PIMCO, P-I-M-C-O, which has $1.3 trillion in government securities. It's the largest financial firm in the world. And Mr. Gross said the Baker bailout wasn't $700 billion. He says on our books right now, if the government was telling you the truth, the real number is $50 trillion, not $700 billion. And there's another $50 trillion of unfunded liabilities on Medicare that the Congress irresponsibly passed without having the money to pay for any of this. This government is totally irresponsible and reckless. And the public opinion polls have shown that 90% of the American people think the government is completely dysfunctional. Now, because of that, the movement that you have created here is the catalyst for this democracy amendment. Please go to our website and read it. And if there's anything about it that you don't agree with, please let me know.
What's the website again?
Braun2012.us.
One more time, please.
I am running as a Democratic candidate against Barack Obama because I can't stand his policies. His policies are the same as Bush.
Same.
No difference.
No difference.
And it's why we need a democracy.
More wars.
That no illegal wars. We illegally
taxes, set tax rates for the rich.
Yes, and by the way, speaking of tax rates for the rich, the majority of people would raise taxes on the rich in a heartbeat if they were in charge. But does anybody know what the tax rates were on the rich during the Eisenhower and Kennedy administrations?
90%.
91, but this guy's got it. He's right, over 90%, and that was in the 1950s. And I know some of you weren't born back then, but if you check your history books, our economy boomed in the 1950s.
What do you think the solution is?
B-R-A-U-N. The solution is clear. It's a democracy amendment to put the majority of citizens in charge of this country.
What does that mean?
That means if the Congress passes a bill, it's not law until the majority of citizens say so.
Please, I'm asking a nice just walk down the block, please.
And I can't speak. Y'all want to shut me up. But you want to be here hurting you as citizens. Where is that in the contract? Where is that in the contract? Leave these people alone. They're you as citizens.
Do you want the red pill or do you want the blue pill? Yeah, exactly. Awesome. People just want the blue pill.
Yeah.
Back to the Matrix.
Back to sleep. Yeah. Yeah.
So many people that come to work, take it around.
If the sun refuses to shine, I don't mind. I don't mind. If the mountains fell in the sea, let it be. It ain't me. Turned out to be nice. Oh, I don't mind. Oh, I don't mind. If all the hippies cut off all their hair. Oh, I don't care. Oh, I don't care. Cause I got my own world to live through.
All day, all week, occupy Wall Street. All day, all week, occupy Wall Street. All day, all week.
And none of the Democrats in the federal Congress are Democrats. They may call themselves Democrats.
They're not Democrats.
They're not.
They're corporatists.
They're
two wings of the same corporate party.
Exactly. The gentleman has it exactly right.
Tell us about the Federal Reserve.
The Federal Reserve should be eliminated, abolished. Thomas Jefferson said, and you could Google his banker's quote, never let the banks be owned by private companies. They will do more damage to your country than foreign armies ever could. That was Thomas Jefferson.
Nice stuff.
Thank you. Thank you. But we can't do this unless we do it together. This is a democracy, requires a majority of citizens to make this constitutional convention a reality. But that can happen overnight with the news media. The news media every day tells the American public we live in a democracy. It's a big lie. We have never been a democracy. And if you think these phony elections that are counted in secret by private corporations with their own private software, who count all the votes and then they come out from the locked doors and tell you who won, is fair, well, I know nobody here believes any of that rubbish.
Tell them about Citizens United.
Why don't you tell them about Citizens United?
Citizens United, it changed the world as we know it. It was the death knell for democracy. That's it. It's over. Citizens United allows unlimited campaign contributions by corporations. Unlimited. If you take the top Fortune 500 companies and you take 1% of their profit, 1%, they can outspend every candidate from the White House to the dog catchers of every jurisdiction in this country. They can outspend us all. The Roberts Court dismantled democracy with that terrible ruling. We have to fight it.
And they're allowed to put commercials on every night saying how great natural gas is. They don't tell you about fracking natural gas and how they are poisoning every aquifer in the country. And once you poison aquifers a mile down with hundreds of the worst toxic chemicals known to man, guess what? You're never going to clean those aquifers up. Not till the end of the earth will they be clean.
And he's right. It's poison. It's killing us. They're killing us. They're killing us economically. They're killing us politically. They're destroying this country with their poison.
We all know there's terrible problems. But what we must do to solve these problems uniformly is to work together on a common goal that everybody can understand. So when the media reports about what we're all doing here, our effort is to take control of the federal government, and nothing less will do. And Article 5 of the Constitution makes it all perfectly legal. But we gotta get the media to cover the story. And guess what? That's what you folks have done. You've got the media here. Now let's take the next step.
And we are the media.
And you are, though.
And we are the media. Because we can't ever depend on the corporate media to do what's right.
That's exactly
we
right.
We have to take the power.
That's exactly
We have a camera. We have the voice, the power to spread the message.
Yes, sir. Something else.
I think this type of movement can make America something it's never been before. Should we stay here if the people that, or should we be like us, like me, the media, the people who are not sleeping over there, do our job to spread the word. You know, it's really up to us. They're doing what they can do, and it's going to get bigger, and it's going to ebb, and it's going to flow. But the idea, what they're doing, is for us to come down here and do this. You know, our job in the media and as people who participate in the media have to spread the word and have to get people thinking about why would this amount of people come and spend this time here? Why would they do that? There's got to be a reason. You know, that's our job at this point.
But the media is not focusing on that. The media is showing, you know, dirty, smelly hippies. They're focusing on the arrests. They're talking about, you know, the violence. They're not talking about the root causes.
Well, that's why it's important for myself to come down here. You know, just, you know, I can reach out to other people. You know, I can have a platform. You know, I have a platform, so it's my job to use it. It's my job to use the fact that all these cameras and lights are in my face to use it for something good, you know?
But what's wrong? What do you think is wrong with this in this country right now that is causing these people to show up?
You know, the root causes of this protest seem to be that 99% of the country don't have control of the wealth that they should. Is not evenly distributed. 1% of the country owns 42% of the wealth, and they're not at all, you know, when you talk about economics, you talk about balancing budgets and stuff like that, it's just simple mathematics. It's simple mathematics. It's not going to work. The country is not going to work like that. People being greedy and people being hoarding. And I'm not someone who, you know, I believe in freedom. I believe you should be as free to make as much money as humanly possible, you know, but you are a product of your community. You don't come out of the thin blue air, you know. So wherever you come from is what made you. So, you know, if you come from America, then you must give back to America. If you have more to give back, then be fair and give back more.
But do we have real freedom here? If what you say, I mean, you know, 42%, 1% controls 42% of the wealth. Is that freedom?
I think people are as free as they want to be. You know, I think these people here are experiencing freedom. You know, I think freedom is something that's relative. It's a relative term. It's not, freedom is not absolute.
Do you think that our system believes in freedom? Do you think the politicians in Washington believe in freedom?
No, I don't think that I don't think that you could be a politician and truly believe in freedom. I think once you become a politician, you give up a piece of that. However, for a revolution to happen, you need a revolution on every level. You can't just have people who want to sleep in the street. You need revolutionary politicians, revolutionary sanitation workers, revolutionary teachers, revolutionary musicians, everything. So I can't shut people off based on what they chose to do for a living.
Do you see the revolution coming?
I don't know if I see it coming, but I mean, this seems pretty revolutionary to me. And the spirit of revolution is here, and so I need to be a part of it. Okay, thank you.
It was supposed to be a peaceful march of solidarity, but it turned ugly. Showing their support for the Occupy Oakland rally that turned violent on Tuesday, 500 Occupy Wall Street protesters marched towards City Hall in Manhattan. But on their return trip towards their base at Zuccotti Park, they clashed with police. Footage filmed from the air appeared to show around 250 people running through traffic.
Total chaos on the radio, they're going nuts.
Police made dozens of arrests, but didn't resort to the tough measures reportedly shown by the authorities in Oakland.
One under arrest. He's gonna get in trouble.
After 3 hours of zigzagging downtown, Most of the demonstrators arrived home at their camp.
I think the tipping point might have been the arrest, the mass arrest of nearly 800 peaceful protesters on the Brooklyn Bridge that took place. I know you've been very outspoken about it.
That and the police brutality. I think that very much when it hit the internet became viral because you saw a bunch of defenseless people that were simply expressing their freedom to speak their mind in a public place. Then they were penned off. Then they were sprayed down. They were obviously not in danger of harming any police officers. And then all of a sudden you see white shirts coming out more and more often and seemingly unable to be held responsible for anything that they do, almost as if they're above the law. And that is very exemplary of exactly what has continued to fuel the fire here at this protest. The fact that people that are on Wall Street, people that are in government, are refusing, or I should say, not say all of them, but a lot of them are refusing to acknowledge their responsibility and what caused all of this. You know, this didn't come from nowhere. People didn't just decide to get up and be angry about nothing. People are seriously concerned about the direction that our democracy is going.
I've seen a lot of people online suggest that this movement, if they were to take some action, should go so far as to either pull their money out of banks or stop using credit cards. I'm not promoting any ideas here while asking you this question, but it is something that has been suggested. Do you think that...
I think the second idea is a lot better than the first one.
Stop using credit cards.
I think even though we have to have a cohesive strategy to pull this together, I think that there's a lot of real brainstorming that needs to happen. Because if we make one move, we need to be focused on what moves will be made against us. You know, this is a chess game. Just like the United States chess game in the Middle East, where they're willing to give up a few pawns, but what they really want is pieces. They're willing to trade a few lame duck presidents, because what they really want is the main characters out of the building, you know? They're willing to trade the pawn, Bengali. Get out of here, he's a pawn, right? The other guy used to be a player, Mubarak, became a pawn. What do they want? The bishop, Gaddafi, gone. Now, they want the queen, Iran, out of there. It's a huge chess game, and don't think that they're not playing that here either. We have to not only be focused on what the next move, but what the reaction to what their reaction of our next move is. We have to think ahead of the game, which is why I said there should be more brainstorming sessions here, and I'm not so sure if they should always be in public, because I think honestly that we're not the only ones watching this. Right. We'd be a fool to think that there aren't people involved here or around this area that aren't sleeper cells or agents. That's not me being paranoid, that's just the truth, you know? The first black person to ever work for any Secret Service agency was Agent 800. His job was to infiltrate the movement of Marcus Garvey. If they were thinking like that back then, why wouldn't they be thinking like that here?
Something's not right about the way we're being treated. They're cracked down. There's a crackdown by government on them. And it was an outrageous egregious crackdown on the Brooklyn Bridge the other day, and we will not take part in it. We're going to make sure that our bus operators are insulated from this type of overzealous behavior on part of the NYPD brass.
Okay, Chris, can you tell us how it went down on the bridge?
Yeah, well, I mean, basically what happened was we were all marching. This is one of the bigger marches of the week. It was the evening march of Saturday, and we were walking basically to the Brooklyn Bridge, and the cops started walking alongside and basically allowing people onto the bridge, or so say the people that were up front who I communicated a bit with. There were people that were on the pedestrian pathway, and there were people that were in the bridge itself where the cars were driving. We were originally filed into about a car lane, and we weren't really taking up traffic as traffic had stopped on that lane anyway. And very quickly the cars were stopped by police, and the lane suddenly opened up, which caused us all to start running because we had to close the gaps. And then there was about 200, 300 police that had either stopped the rest of the protest or followed up the back of it, and they were basically just marching in a line up the back of the Brooklyn Bridge, so we had no exit. Then up in the front, the same thing was happening, and they started bringing in trucks from both sides, buses, like regular transit buses, as well as paddy wagons, and netting. And so we were all conglomerated into the center of the bridge, or what probably was the center of the bridge, at which point people started being really confused, and no one panicked. Everyone more or less remained calm, but there was a lot of mic checks. There was a lot of confusion about what was going on. There was a movement to sit down and lock arms when we realized that we were all going to be arrested. This movement was given up, especially because apparently there was some police violence, but I don't know that. I can't confirm it. I was several hundred people deep into basically the middle of this when we were being pulled off from both sides. It took about 4 hours or 3 hours or something along those lines to fully evacuate the bridge, which is completely unnecessary. We spoke through the people's mic to the NYPD, no response, explaining that we just wanted to cross the bridge. There were a chance to set us free, let us go, and that basically the police were responsible for shutting down the bridge, and it was a trap to arrest all of us.
The whole world is watching! 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 The whole world! Shame on you! Shame on you! The whole world is watching! The whole world is watching! Yeah, why don't you arrest the lawyers? Arresting the lawyers now, right? Arresting the lawyers. It's so loud inside my head with words that I should have said as I drown in my regrets. I can't take back the words I never said.
I really think the war on terror is a bunch of bullshit. Just a poor excuse for you to use up all your bullets. How much money does it take to really make a full clip? 9/11 building 7, did they really pull it? And a bunch of other cover-ups. Your child's future was the first to go with budget cuts. If you think that hurts, then wait, here comes the uppercut. The school was garbage in the first place, that's on the up and up. Keep you at the bottom, but tease you with the upper crust. You get it, then they move it, so you never keeping up enough. If you turn on TV, all you see's a bunch of what the fucks. Do this dating so-and-so, blabbering about such and such, and that ain't Jersey Shore. Homie, that's the news, and these the same people supposedly telling us the truth. Limbaugh is a racist, Glenn Beck is a racist. Gaza Strip was getting bombed, Obama didn't say shit. That's why I ain't vote for next one either. I'm a part of the problem, my problem is I'm peaceful, and I believe in the people. Yeah! It's alright. Never heard it, but if we know better, then we probably deserve it. Jihad is not holy war, where's that in the worship? Murdering is not Islam, and you are not observant. And you are not a Muslim. Israel, don't take my side, cause look how far you pushed them. Walk with me into the ghetto, this where all the kush went. Complain about the liquor store, but what you drinking liquor for? Complain about...
Let's go.
They don't lie. They don't lie. They don't lie, tough guy. This is not a war zone. This is not a war zone. These are unarmed people. It doesn't make you tough to hurt these people. Let them know. It doesn't make you tough to hurt these people. It doesn't. I don't care. I don't care about these people. I put in my work. It doesn't lie. It does not make you tough to hurt these people. There's nothing tough about it. Nothing. If you want to go fight, go to Iraq and Afghanistan. But you want to be here hurting U.S. citizens. Where is that in the contract? Where is that in the contract? Leave these people alone. They're U.S. citizens. U.S. citizens. U.S. citizens. U.S. It does not make you tough to do this to them. It doesn't. Stop hurting these people, man. Why y'all do this to our people? I've been to Iraq 14 months for my people. You come over here and you hurt them. They don't have guns. They don't have guns. They don't. Why are you hurting these people? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. How do you sleep at night? There is no honor in this. There is no honor in this. There is no honor in this. this, man. There's no honor in this shit. There is no honor in this shit. There is no honor in what you're doing to these people. No honor. How do you do this to people? How do you do this to people? How do you sleep at night doing this to people? Come on, sir. Keep moving. How do you do this to people? Let's go. How? You're here to protect them. You're here to protect us. Protect us. Why are you hurting U.S. citizens? This is the United States of America. Why are you hurting people? If you want to go kill and hurt people, go to Iraq. Why are you hurting U.S. citizens? Why? What sense does it make? Did you get honor out of this? Do you get honor out of hitting people with batons? Is that what you get? Let's go. Why are you doing this? Let's back up here. We got to walk down the block all the way to the police. We're just trying to move you up the block. This is unbelievable that y'all are doing this to people. That y'all are doing this to people. Come on, let's go. Keep moving. Why are y'all doing this to people? No, I know that everybody's not bad. Why are y'all doing this to people? Y'all walk around in riot gear like this is a war. These people don't have guns.
It's a little crazy.
How can I not act crazy when y'all are hurting people that are protected?
Back up.
My whole family protected this country. I understand, but I'm not out here trying to hurt these people. I'm not walking around trying to hurt them.
But your history doesn't. I was in Iraq with you.
So why do you allow this? Why are they walking around trying to hurt people?
Let's go, folks.
Keep walking.
Please, I'm asking a nice minute. Walk down the block, please.
And I can't speak. Y'all want to shut me up. Y'all want to shut me up. Why are y'all walking like there's a war going on? Nobody has guns. Why are y'all treating people like this? This is America. Why are y'all treating people like this? Why are y'all gearing up like this is war? This is not war.
Let's go, folks. We can.
This is not war. Why are y'all acting like this? Nobody has guns. It takes a tough guy to act like this.
Let's go, folks.
People without guns. Nobody's trying to hurt you guys. There are no bullets flying out here. There are no bullets flying. How tough are you? How tough are you? There's no honor in hurting unarmed civilians. Did you see something no respect? What did you see tonight that bothered you? I was here on October 5th. I saw them beating people, people that had nothing to do with anything, just grabbing people out of the crowd. There's no honor in that. My mom, my father, everybody has served in Iraq, Afghanistan. Well, I did 14 months in Iraq. My father was in Afghanistan. My mother did a year in Iraq. We fought for this country. I don't come home. I'm in New York City. I am from New York City, and these cops are hurting people that I fought to protect. There's no reason for this. There's no honor in hurting unarmed civilians, and I won't let it happen. Have a good night. Oakville, New York. Sergeant Shamar Thomas. Oakville, New York. Hey, it's my president! Huh? Oh, I don't know what they're doing. They walked away. They're scared. It's crazy. Hurrah, hurrah. Crazy.
The federal government. When you have big state government, small federal government, our voices are heard at the local level. We can make differences. A whole continent wide cannot control a federal government with a banking system that prints money like it's paper. You can't even call it money anymore. Gold is money. Silver is money. Green dollars are not money. They're using inflation as a hidden tax to fuck the people. Prices go up. Do your wages go up? No. My wages didn't go up, but prices went up. Gas goes up. Milk goes up. Trains go up. How am I supposed to live? And this is all because our government prints too much money, starts too much wars, so they can sell their tanks, their guns, their missiles. Because that's all America exports. Is guns, missiles, and tanks. That's it. We need to bring production back to America. And the Federal Reserve. And the fractional banking system. When you invest $100 in a bank, they multiply that by 9 and they send it out 9 different ways. They don't just make money on the initial investment, they make it 9 times the initial investment. That's fake money that they printed out of thin air. Fiat money. It's a fiat currency. 1913, this country died. When we adopted the central bank and we got rid of sound money. We used to be able in 1913 to walk into a bank and redeem our dollars with gold. Can we do that anymore? No! What's the price of gold now? Almost $2,000. It's gone up $600 an ounce this year. It's gonna keep rising! And it's gonna keep rising as long as we have bailouts, as long as we have quantitative easing, as long as our government keeps spending our money. Every dollar the government takes in federal taxation is another dollar that they spend. Every time they spend money, that's your money that they send overseas. They bail out Morgan Stanley and then Goldman Sachs. When I fuck up, who bails me out? No one. Why should Goldman Sachs get bailed out? $700 billion in 08. And they want more now? They want more. That wasn't enough? You're gonna drain. There's not gonna be a middle class in 10 years. And the Federal Reserve. And the fractional banking system. And the Fed. Elect Ron Paul. And the war. Ron Paul 2012. Sound money. Stop with the banksters printing money. Printing it, debasing our currencies. Driving up our prices. We don't need any more money in our economy. We got plenty in debt. No. And the Fed. And the fractional reserve system. And the wars. Get corporations out of our politics. Yes. Out of our politics.
And corporate personhood.
Wall Street is rigged. When Wall Street owns a majority of the wealth and they invest in Wall Street, they know when the market's gonna go up, they know when the market's gonna go down, and they all make money while we all lose money. How is that fair? And then after thousands, trillions of derivatives, they want bailouts. They have the balls to ask us for bailouts. No more bailouts. No more printing of money. No more quantitative easing. And the Federal Reserve. And the fractional banking system. Sound money. Go back to a gold standard. The Depression will be nothing compared to 1913 when it hits us. 1930, when the Depression came, will be nothing like it will be in the coming years. If we lose America, we have nowhere else to run for freedom. There is no country left that promotes free markets, corporations, not in politics. There's no country that has their own sound currency. There is nowhere left to run. If we lose America, we lose the world to the elite. The 1% will continue to get rich as we all live like slaves.
The richest 1% of this country owns half our country's wealth, $5 trillion. You got 90% of the American public out there with little or no net worth. I create nothing. I own. We make the rules, pal. The news, war, peace, famine, upheaval, the price of paper clip. We pick that rabbit out of the hat while everybody's just out there wondering how the hell we did it. Now, you're not naive enough to think we're living in a democracy, are you, buddy? It's the free market. Free market. I create nothing. I own.
Must be some kind of way out of here, said a joker to the thief. There's too much confusion, I can't get no relief. Businessman there, drink my wine. Plowman, dig my earth. None will ever own the mine. Nobody of it is worth.